I'm Katha Vachak and welcome to the realm of Katha. Today we have brought for you a few more stories from the Betal Pachisi. So let's begin. As soon as King Vikram resumed his journey with Betal, Betal quipped in his ears. Oh dear king, you have been very diligent. So tell me, what are your wishes? I may fulfill them for you. When he got no response, he again asked, Tell me your deepest desires, King Vikram. I will fulfill them for you. King Vikram said nothing. So then Betal said, King Vikram, you are so boring. So let me just cut this boredom by telling you an interesting story. This story is from a kingdom named Tamrilipi and it's King Chandrasen. There was a young man named Satvashil who used to live in the same kingdom. He was a smart chap, but he was unemployed. He was looking for a job. So one day he went to the king's court to meet the king and to find a job. But the soldiers in front of the kingdom, they didn't allow him to enter the palace. Dejected, he returned back, but he promised to himself that one day he'll meet King Chandrasen and find a job. After a few days, King Chandrasen was travelling to survey his kingdom. After travelling for few hours, he started feeling thirsty. The whole party searched for water everywhere, but they couldn't find it anywhere. After travelling for a bit, they saw a young man standing on the roadside. That man was no one else but Satvashil. So king asked Satvashil to help them. And Satvashil promptly bought a lot of water and he also gave them some fruits to eat. King and his party really felt obliged and king happily called him to his palace. Next day, when Satvashil reached king's palace, the king heartily welcomed him and asked him his desires. Satvashil asked him for a job and king promptly employed him. Slowly over time, Satvashil became a very close confidant to the king. One day, King Chandrasen called Satvashil and started discussing state affairs with him. He said to Satvashil that, Dear Satvashil, see, we are a rich kingdom, but still a lot of our people are unemployed. I am trying to find employment for them, but it's a little difficult. There's an island near our kingdom. It seems very surplus, and I think there must be a lot of opportunities there for our people. Why don't you go and survey that island and see what we can find there? Satvashil immediately started out with a boat and few of the kingsmen towards the island. As soon as they reached near the island, Satvashil saw a strange flag floating in the water. To investigate further, he immediately dived into the water and found himself magically transported to the island itself. What he saw there was truly mesmerizing. He saw a beautiful princess frolicking with her courtesans and singing beautiful songs. He went and introduced himself to the princess, and the princess invited him to the dinner. But before that, she requested him to take a holy dip in a nearby pond. As soon as Satvashil took the first dip in the pond, he immediately found himself again magically transported to Tamrilipi and in front of King Chandrasen. Mesmerized by this, King Chandrasen asked him the whole story and he narrated it to him. After that, they set sail towards the island and King Chandrasen mightily conquered the island immediately. The princes of the island also declared King Chandrasen as the king of the island. Happy with his victory, King Chandrasen immediately proposed marriage for Satvashil and the princess. And he also appointed Satvashil as the governor of the island. Thus, he repaid Satvashil's beneficence. After finishing the story, Betal asked King Vikramaditya, Dear king, now tell me, who was more courageous? Was it King Chandrasen or was it Satvashil? Tell me fast or your head will blow into 1,000 pieces. King Vikram thought for a bit and said, Dear Betal, King Chandrasen knew the whole story of the island before going there, as Satvashil had told him everything. So he basically was going into something which he already knew about. But Satvashil, when he jumped into the water, he knew nothing about the place or the flag or anything. He could probably have been going towards a mortal danger, but still he jumped into the water because he was following the orders of his king. So obviously, Satvashil was much more courageous. Betal smiled and said, Absolutely right, King Vikram. But since you opened your mouth, I'm gone again. And he flew off. And again began the perilous journey of King Vikram and an interesting story of Betal. There once lived a sage in a town named Agrahar. He had 3 sons, whom all 3 of them were very intelligent and humorous. One day, the sage asked his sons to go to the seacoast and find a tortoise for the temple. So the next day, all three of the sons went to the seacoast and they found a big fat tortoise. But now the problem was, who would carry the tortoise back to the house? The eldest brother refused, saying that the tortoise was too dirty. The middle brother refused, saying that he was getting a very bad smell from the tortoise. And the youngest brother refused, saying that if he would carry the tortoise, he would get very bad blisters on his hands. So this was a big problem now. Suddenly, they saw a man washing his clothes nearby and asked him to carry the tortoise for them. The man took a look at them and said, "You three seem to be very strong and able. Why don't you carry the tortoise yourself?" So all three of them gave their own reasons to him. The man heard, he smiled and said, "You three seem a little delicate to me. So this is a very confusing thing. Do one thing, go to the king. He will be better able to judge whom of you is more delicate and which one of you should carry the tortoise." When they recited their story to the king, he got even more confused. He said that it would take me one day at least to give a proper judgment. So why don't you three stay with me in the palace itself for today? The three agreed. As all of them sat for the lunch, the eldest brother suddenly stopped eating rice. When king asked him as to why he was not eating, the brother said, "Dear king, I think I find ash in this rice. I am not going to eat it." When inquired, the king found out that the field from which the rice came to the palace was actually located near a crematorium. He was surprised at the eldest brother's sensitivity. In the evening, the king invited a singer to sing for the three brothers. He got to know that the second brother was very much interested in music, and so he asked him to play the drums with the singer. As soon as the singer started to sing, the second brother got up and moved away from the singer. When king questioned him, he said, "Oh dear king, I cannot sit next to her. She stinks of a goat." On asking the singer said to the king that she puts a perfume every day. But in her childhood, she used to drink goat milk every day. And the whole court was amazed at the sensitivity of the second brother. Later at night, all three brothers went off to sleep. At midnight, suddenly the youngest brother woke up and started screaming loudly. When asked, he said that there was something pricking him under the mattresses, and he showed them a scar which was forming on his back. When checked, they found a little strand of hair which was under the three mattresses. Everyone was amazed to see that it had actually created a scar on the back of the youngest brother, and they decided that all three brothers were really delicate in their own way. Betal then stopped and asked King Vikram, "Dear king, now tell me, who was the most delicate of the three brothers? Tell me fast or your head will blow into 1,000 pieces." King Vikram replied, "Dear Betal, it has to be the youngest brother. See, whatever the elder brothers said, it could have been a story that they knew beforehand because it was not to be seen. But in the case of youngest brother, he had a proof in form of his experience, in form of the scar that he had on his back. So whatever we can see, we should believe that actually. So I think the youngest brother was the most delicate of them all." Betal smiled and said, "You are absolutely right, King Vikram. You know what? Even the king rewarded the youngest brother heftily and even sent his men to deliver the tortoise to their house. But now, since you have opened your mouth, I am also gone." So once again began the journey and the story of Vikram Betal. This story is of a girl named Madan Sena who used to live in a town called Anandpur. There was a boy named Dharamdutt who used to love Madan Sena a lot and used to follow her everywhere. One day, Madan Sena told Dharamdutt that she didn't love him. Hearing this, Dharamdutt immediately jumped into the water and began drowning. Madan Sena dove after him and carried him outside and asked him why he was jumping in the water. Dharamdutt said, "See, I don't want to live in a world where you don't love me. I love you a lot. I will be waiting for you on the full moon night near the temple. If you don't come, I will commit suicide." Madan Sena was really impressed by his persistence and agreed to meet him. On the same day, a businessman visited Madan Sena's home and proposed marriage for his son and Madan Sena, to which the parents agreed immediately. Same day, Madan Sena was engaged to the businessman's son, and next day they were married off. Now, next day, two thieves came to know about the wedding and they decided to steal the jewelry. As they reached Madan Sena's husband's house, one of the thieves saw Madan Sena and he was truly mesmerized by her beauty. As they were stealing the jewelry, suddenly a few people came into the room and thieves got scared and ran away. As the night came, Madan Sena started getting worried because it was the night of full moon and Dharamdat was waiting for her. As her husband came, she confided in him and told him the whole story of Dharamdat. She then requested him to go to Dharamdat and save his life. The husband started getting furious, but then he decided to let Madan Sena go and save Dharamdat's life. He also decided that he would follow her secretly. As and when Madan Sena was going to meet Dharamdat, she was suddenly stopped by the same thief. The thief asked her to marry him. Madan Sena explained the whole story to him and asked him to let her go. She told him that she would come back to him after she saved the life of Dharamdat. The thief was impressed by her courage and decided to let her go. As Madan Sena met Dharamdat, he was surprised to see her in a bridal dress. Madan Sena explained the full story to Dharamdat and told him that she was married now. Dharamdat felt a little embarrassed and he decided to sacrifice his love. He told Madan Sena that you should go back to your husband. Madan Sena was relieved to hear this, but she went back to the thief who was actually secretly following her. The thief had tears in his eyes. He told Madan Sena that he was really happy to see her courage and her truthfulness, and he asked her to go back to her husband and live with him. As Madan Sena returned to her husband, he accepted her really happily because he was also watching the whole scenario with his own eyes. And they started living happily ever after. At this point, Betal stopped and asked King Vikram, "Oh dear king, now tell me, whose sacrifice was the biggest? Was it the husband's, the thief's, or Dharamdat's? Tell me fast, or your head will break into 1,000 pieces." King Vikram thought for a bit and said, "Dear Betal, I think it's the thief's sacrifice which is the biggest. See, Dharamdat and Madan Sena's husband both had their self-interest at the play. Madan Sena's husband didn't want to be associated with a woman who had a different man in her heart, and Dharamdat did not want himself to be associated with a woman who was married. The thief had nothing to lose. Had he accepted Madan Sena, he would only have gained his love. But he decided to respect the sacrifices and the truth of Madan Sena and let her go. So I think it's the thief whose sacrifice is the biggest." At his response, Betal smiled and said, "Dear King Vikram, you are very intelligent and intuitive. But had you known that silence is sometimes the best answer, it would have been better for you. But since you opened your mouth, I'm gone again." And he flew back to the tree, and so the journey began repeatedly. So this was today's Katha. Until next time.